Alright, Schlockmeister fans, from this wonderful Adventures of a ... PAL DVD set, we're going to watch Adventures of a Taxi Driver. Let's check it out.
I'd like to take a ride with you. Don't wanna be tied to you.
And someone at the wheel, always ready to lend a helping hand.
These are your taxi drivers in London. Here's our star, Barry Evans. He plays Joe North.
Trouble is, you see, I live at home. You need a bit of peace and quiet after doing this job. And living at home, no joke, I can tell you.
When he's on the job, he's always leering at the beautiful ladies, especially the ones with the short skirts. He picks up a girl who looks like Alicia Silverstone.
That's isn't it? You're off to work then? Yeah, I thought so. I can usually tell. Being in this job, you have to be a bit of a psychologist.
This girl is distraught and wants to be dropped off on a bridge so she can jump off and commit suicide. Needless to say, she doesn't commit suicide. He helps talk her down, and then goes to her apartment and starts to undress her. But as they start to get intimate, the guy comes home.
Well, that makes a change. Let's see, what's the score now? Westminster 12.
This is his fiancée, Carol.
It's got nothing to do with me.
She's always suspicious that he might be with other women.
I know these things. So where are you going?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I just have I ever been unfaithful to you?
No.
Have you ever caught me with another woman?
No.
Have you ever caught me, when I've been out with you, even looking at another woman?
No.
There you are then. You've got nothing to worry about, have you?
Anyway, he wants a new place to stay, so he's got his buddies going to get him a place, but the place comes with a girl named Nikki, who's a stripper.
Just till I get something else fixed up.
All right, just for a couple of weeks. Till you find somewhere.
Yeah.
Nikki the stripper, played by Judy Geeson from
Horror
Planet.
No, thanks. Better get out and earn some money. Like me to drop you off?
Oh, yeah, great.
She has a giant python in her act.
Change your act.
Change my act? Monty is a huge success, and you don't replace that in a hurry.
Honest.
Well,
What could be wrong with that?
Joe comes back to the apartment and starts undressing a girl that he brought.
I'm going to hide it away now.
Gotta cut away. Later on, he has to deliver a package for this woman.
Something?
And if you've ever seen any of those porn sequences where people drop their towels, quote-unquote, accidentally,
Never mind.
Well, it was the only thing I could think of, wasn't it?
none of them are,
Come on,
are his
just really
fiancée.
cool. Got any cards?
Cards? No.
They're gonna play Spin the Bottle instead. It's a version of Spin the Bottle where everybody's gotta get naked. Carol comes to visit, though, and catches him in the act.
Carol, listen, I can't explain.
Here he finds himself helping this woman who got locked out of her apartment.
There you go. You're there.
Of course, we get a nice shot of her underwear. Of course, she then takes him into the bathtub, and of course, then her husband comes home.
He can't cope with responsibility.
And he's got to hide under the water when the husband comes in.
Runs a four-dander and doesn't play golf, you mark my words. Well, I've been proved right yet again.
That's wonderful.
Going.
Now, cab driving can be dangerous, too.
One wrong move and you're dead. Understand? Just stick to the driving. Keep your eyes on the road and you and me'll get along just fine.
Turns out it was all a joke, though.
Come on, you can relax now.
24, you said?
24.
Got somebody new in his car, and he's excited.
Sex bomb, this one. I mean, you can tell from that voice, can't you? Eh? All husky.
I think you can now surmise why he talked about that husky voice. Plus the fact that she's about 7 feet tall. And when he gets a little frisky...
Bloody hell.
What's the matter?
You're a fella.
But of course I am. What did you think I was?
Then some kidnappers get him. He thinks it's a joke again.
Oh, I get it. You will if you don't go up. It's bleeding Tom, isn't it?
Trust him.
Of course it was real, but...
He's a mate. He's not going to shop us.
I won't.
And I say we shouldn't chance it.
Look, I'm not going to say anything. As far as I'm concerned, it never happened. I don't know nothing.
And at this point, Carol bursts in.
Didn't know you had company.
Hello, Carol.
I just came to tell you that...
Well, then the cops burst in because they know something's going on.
Inspector Rogers, CID.
I guess these are jewel
And
thieves.
this is Sergeant Jeeves.
Afternoon, all.
And guess where the jewels are hidden.
She's respectable. She's a stripper. Nicky. And so the last thing you could ever find in this place will be stolen property.
All this business
Joe didn't end up going to jail, though, because he didn't do anything.
Guess where I've ended up?
But he did have to move back home with
Nothing
Mom.
like home cooking, is there?
Not like your own cooking, there isn't.
Carol.
And that's our movie.
She'll be round at 6. You were taking her out.
All right, let's talk about Adventures of a Taxi Driver. Now, this is a movie that I had on a pre-recorded VHS tape. In fact, I had all three of these movies on pre-recorded VHS tapes. And I watched them a few times back in the day. They're just basically silly British sex comedies. They all are part of this Adventures series, although they don't really have anything in common with each other. Well, I shouldn't say that. The characters are different in all the movies. There's a different actor in parts 2 and 3, but it's the same actor, but it's different than the guy in part 1, Barry Evans. Barry Evans actually was a TV actor in the UK. He was on a show called Doctor at Large or something like that. But anyway, he plays a taxi driver. Joe North is his name. He lives with his mother, played by Diana Dors. You might remember Diana Dors as she was on the cover of the Beatles album, Sgt. Pepper. So Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So anyway, she's kind of an overbearing mother. He's engaged to a woman named Carol, but he decides he's got to get out of the house. So during his taxi driver days, he picks up women, and apparently he's very attractive to all the female people that he picks up. So they all seduce him and take him back to their places and try to have sex with him, which he doesn't mind. He obviously doesn't tell his fiancée Carol about this. He meets his buddy who works in an auto shop and says, "Hey, man, you got a place I can stay?" And he sets him up in this apartment. In this apartment, though, he has a roommate. The roommate's name is Nikki, and she's a stripper. She's played by Judy Geeson, who was in the movie Horror Planet, which I've reviewed previously. And of course, he and the stripper get it on at some point. He gets it on with just about everybody. At one point, he does get caught by his fiancée Carol, who leaves him at that point. He also picks up this woman who, like I said, looked like, a little bit like Alicia Silverstone. She was going to jump off a bridge and kill herself, but instead he coaxed her down and went back to her place, and they started to make love. Turns out that was just a ruse. She does that with people all the time. She pretends she's going to kill herself so that they will take pity on her, and then she takes them back to her place and has sex with them all. Quite a ruse. I don't think you need to do that. She was a pretty woman. I think she could have just gotten anybody. But anyway, ultimately he gets involved. Well, he doesn't really get involved. He gets kidnapped by these guys who are like jewel thieves, and they're in cahoots with Nikki, the prostitute, or I should say stripper. And the police come in, they bust the place. Turns out there's a bunch of jewels, stolen jewels and stuff there, and his friends go off to jail. He gets let go because he didn't do anything really, and the last thing you know, he had to move back home because obviously the apartment wasn't available anymore. He had to move back home with his mom, and that's kind of how it ended. So anyway, it's really a silly movie. Like I said, it's just weird British sex comedy. Plenty of nude scenes in it. We actually see Barry Evans. We see his penis a couple times flopping around. Although there's no frontal nudity from the women in this movie. Plenty of toplessness and bare butts and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, but there's plenty of nudity to keep you interested if that's what you're looking for. And that's the only reason you kind of watch movies like this. Now, I believe some of these movies may have showed up on cable back in the 80s. I'm not 100%. I think they did, though. A couple of them did. Yeah, in fact, I know they did. They are not available on DVD in this country. However, as you can see here, they are available on a DVD set. This is a PAL DVD set from overseas. It's actually a very, very nice set, too. It comes with some inserts and like a book about the Adventures movies. Obviously, three DVDs. And the quality is actually pretty darn good. So there you go. This is a nice set, actually, if you're into this kind of garbage, like I am. It's getting a little pricey, though. I've seen some places listed up to like over $100. But you can, if you look around, you can probably get it for about half that price. But if you want these movies and you like this kind of shit like I do, it's well worth it. I like this set and I'm happy to have it. So that's it. Adventures of a Taxi Driver. I will be reviewing Adventures of a Private Eye and Adventures of a Plumber's Mate in the very near future. Look forward for that, right? Check it out. Leave some comments. Adventures of a Taxi Driver. Watch it. Bye.